Hello everyone, I'm Nikhil M. Kulkarni, a product marketing engineer at Broadcom. As 5G adoption is growing, the network operations are becoming more agile. The introduction of multi-vendor systems in 5G requires communication service providers or CSPs to cater to a variety of requirements of the network functions provided by different network equipment providers or NEPs. This could also mean deploying and operating multiple versions of CaaS clusters as required for the cloud native network functions or CNFs. Such requirements could complicate the lifecycle management of the CaaS clusters. In this demonstration, let us consider a use case where a CSP has deployed network functions from two different vendors. There are two CaaS workload clusters on version 1.24.10 that are hosting the two network functions. One of the vendors have a new release of the network function that has some critical bugs fixed and some key features the CSP is interested to use. But the CNF upgrade requires Kubernetes capabilities that are available in the Kubernetes release 1.28.11, and the recommendation from the vendor is to upgrade the CaaS workload cluster before upgrading the CNFs. To upgrade CaaS workload cluster, you would first have to upgrade the CaaS management cluster. But the CaaS management cluster manages other workload clusters as well, and upgrading that management cluster would mean losing some functionalities or restricted CRUD operations in managing the workload clusters that are on the older Kubernetes version. There is an option to upgrade all CaaS workload clusters managed by the management cluster, but is usually not feasible due to a variety of factors such as version constraints by another vendor or hesitation in performing non-essential upgrades. Therefore, we will explore how you can implement the selective CaaS upgrades in this demonstration. Through the cluster rehome feature that is part of the automation capabilities of VMware Telco Cloud Platform, Broadcom enables the CSPs to upgrade a set of the workload clusters managed by a particular management cluster. Cluster rehoming basically moves the subset of CaaS workload clusters to a different management cluster and then allows you to upgrade those CaaS clusters and the CNFs hosted on them. Let's log into the VMware Telco Cloud Automation GUI, navigate to Virtual Infrastructure under Infrastructure section, verify that the VIMs are connected, navigate to CaaS Infrastructure section and observe the management and workload CaaS clusters that have already been deployed and note their versions are 1.24.10. Navigate to Network Functions section under Inventory dropdown. You can observe that there are two CNFs that are hosted on two different workload clusters. Let us consider that the vendor X has a new release of the CNF, CNF01, and is recommending customers to upgrade the CaaS workload cluster so it can host the CNFs with their new capabilities and bug fixes. Vendor Y, on the other hand, recommends staying on the same Kubernetes release as they foresee issues with some changes introduced in the new release. To mitigate this situation, we will create a new management cluster and move the workload cluster to this new management cluster. To create a new management cluster, navigate to CaaS Infrastructure under Infrastructure section and click Deploy Cluster. Furnish the details of the CaaS management cluster such as the VM template, vSphere resources, network port groups, cluster IP, cluster add-ons, and all the other details. The deployment of the CaaS management cluster takes a few minutes. Once the new management cluster is deployed, click on the ellipsis next to TKG Workload 01 cluster and click Move to button. Select the newly created CaaS management cluster and click Move. This triggers the movement of the workload cluster from TKG MGMT management cluster to TKG MGMT rehome management cluster. Once the workload cluster move is completed successfully, we will upgrade the CaaS management cluster to the desired version by clicking the ellipsis button next to TKG MGMT rehome and then click Upgrade. Select the appropriate version and review the details before initiating the upgrade process. In our case, the target version of the CaaS management cluster is 1.28.11, and this is a multi-step upgrade process. Once the CaaS management cluster is upgraded to the desired version, we will also upgrade the CaaS workload cluster to the appropriate Kubernetes version. To do so, click the ellipsis button next to TKG workload 01 cluster and then click Upgrade. Select the appropriate BOM, choose whether to upgrade the node pool, verify the details and initiate the upgrade process. Again, the target version of the CaaS workload cluster is 1.28.11, and this is a multi-step upgrade process. Once the CaaS workload clusters have been upgraded, we can now upgrade the CNFs. Navigate to the Network Function tab under Inventory section and click on the ellipsis next to CNF01. Click Upgrade and furnish the details to initiate the upgrade of the CNF to the newer version. With this demonstration, we emphasize that through the automation capabilities of VMware Telco Cloud Platform, CSPs get a flexible and agile lifecycle management strategy, simplifying the CaaS upgrades while catering to the different sets of requirements from multiple vendors. This selective upgrade strategy reduces the risk and saves operational expenses, having avoided unnecessarily upgrading all the other CaaS workload clusters. To learn more about such exciting capabilities of VMware Telco Cloud Platform, visit us at Mobile World Congress 2025 at booth 2J30 in Hall 2. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.